I was just being drawn in like the sirens calling the sailors to the rocks. I was just dashed up against the rocks of despair. I was addicted to my cell phone. I needed it so bad. It got so bad. I know patterns. I just didn't one day flip out my cell phone and say I'm gonna make a phone call to my grandmother during the middle of the performance.
I'm here with Verizon Boy. Tell me, Verizon Boy, talk about the glory days.
Steve, the glory days are a mixture of happiness and bitterness. And do you really want me to tell my story?
I mean, you were on top. You were on top. You were on top of your game. You were victorious at Harvey Cedars last year, defeating the pirate and his gang. The victory there, must have been outstanding. That just propelled your career into Fast Forward. What was that like?
It was amazing. I just have to say it was entirely amazing. Afterwards, I was embraced. I got this huge contract to go on Broadway and start my own musical. Can you hear and see me now? And I loved to dance. I've just been gifted in that way. Dancing is everything to me. We're successful. I won Tony Awards. I was able to feel alive for the first time in my life.
Oh, he was my brother. He was my friend. He was my mentor. I think look at the success I've had. Look at the career I've had. Last year I threw the opening pitch at the World Series game. Why? Because of Verizon Boy.
Dancing, as you know, was just what I wanted to always do. And I had the opportunity to do it, and it was just a rich opportunity. And when I was approached, and we went on Broadway and sold out for months in advance, it was just glorious. And I'll never forget when the curtain went up for the first time and I saw those people. I just reached deep down inside of me and I danced my heart out. And all I could do was dance and dance and dance, and I loved it.
Yeah. But that wasn't your only love, was it?
No.
I'm sorry for going there.
I don't.
Let me give you a minute.
I'm sorry, Steve. I'm so sorry.
Talk to me about the addiction. What did it do?
Okay, about 3 months into the show running, we're running 6 days a week. I'm doing 3 shows a day. Loving it. I'm going on Regis and Kelly. I'm, Dave Letterman and I are having sushi once a week, and all the notoriety, I began to feel hollow inside. Something just gripped my soul, and I realized I realized I was empty. And I've always struggled with this, and part of it is I'm addicted to this. I'm addicted to my cell phone.
But that, it all came to a head, didn't it? 2 months ago, in the middle of your show.
Yeah, and this is the real painful part. I don't really like to talk about this.
The world needs to know.
I think you're right. Well, after being very successful, all right, this is what happened. I was on stage, and I'm just gonna get through it, okay? I'm just gonna say, I was on stage, and I picked up my phone during a performance. You're not even supposed to have your cell phones on and in the theater. And the cardinal sin is actually to ever use it. I was just being drawn in like the sirens calling the sailors to the rocks. I was just dashed up against the rocks of despair. I was addicted to my cell phone. I needed it so bad. It got so bad. I know patterns. I just didn't one day flip out my cell phone and say I'm gonna make a phone call to my grandmother during the middle of the performance. It started before then. And what happened was I'm dancing, I'm having the time of my life, and I lost my concentration. I began to think of my grandmother. My grandmother is sick, and she turns 92. I need to call her. And I just got this compulsion, and I just felt this battle welling up inside of me, and I said, you're on stage, you're working, you're doing the job of your life. And you know what you need to do? You need to just resist the temptation to call your grandmother. But I was like, something else welled up inside that was stronger, and I said, I need to call Grandma. I need to let her know how much I love her. I need to call and tell her that I love her from the bottom of my heart. Goodbye, Grandma. I will miss you. The crowd booed me. The guy in charge and who oversees and who's bankrolled the whole thing gave me a couple days to kind of sort through the controversy. New York Times, the New York Daily newspaper, they condemned me and called me a fraud. And
what are you doing now?
I'm a mailman. Not a mailman. I mean, because geez, I'm gonna be indicted for the real postal service would never hire me. I'm a sham. But I deliver mail around an office, and
what office?
Verizon.
They took you back.
Yeah, it was really generous to me. The CEO gave me a call one day. I'm really surprised. I didn't know that. And he said, listen, we know you're in a tough bind. Why don't you come work for us? And honestly, it's been one of the best things for me. I feel like I'm getting my dignity back. And I really feel like for the first time, I'm putting my feet on the ground.
What are your hopes?
I don't have any hopes right now, Steve. No hopes. I went for the gusto and I got flushed down the toilet. I mean, that's the best way I can say it. And I'm just going to ride this out for a couple years and take some time to regroup and try to work through all these cell phone issues. And we're going to counseling over it. It's pretty hard right now.
I never meant to lie.
So that's my story.
So this is goodbye. This is goodbye.